Alaha here. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. And if you're an existing subscriber, how you doing? Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review. I have tried both products that I'm about to review before, but I'm going to be comparing the Huda Beauty Foundation to the Fenty Beauty Foundation. I wanted to do something like this instead of a review on each because I'm way too late, you know. The month of October, all I kept putting out there was Halloween videos, and so I didn't want to step outside of that to do anything else. So that's why I figured a lot of people have been asking me how I like the Fenty Beauty compared to the Huda Beauty. And so I wanted to do something where I compare them side by side. So if you want to know what I think about these two products, please stay tuned and I will show you everything. Okay, so obviously I'm going to be doing the exact same thing that I do every single day when I'm prepping my skin to put on foundation. I think that it's only fair. Okay guys, so first thing we're going to do is prep our skin. The first thing I'm going in with is my Kiehls Ultra Facial Moisturizer with SPF 30 in it. The SPF is very important if you don't use a sunscreen already. Make sure you use something to protect your skin, to prevent any future blemishes as far as sun damage goes, and also to prevent wrinkles. I'm just going to take a little bit of this on my hand, just rub it into my skin. Don't get this into your eyes because that SPF, girl, that shit burns. Next, I'm going to go in with my Farsali Unicorn Essence Primer. I'm not going to go in with the actual Huda Beauty Primer only because I don't have the one that goes with the Fenty primer because every time I go to Sephora to get it, they are out of it. But the primer that I do like with these foundations, with both of them actually, is the Farsali Unicorn Essence Primer. Just rub this into your skin. So as far as the foundation itself goes, it took me 4 tries and I still don't have it right. And that's because the first time I ordered Tres Leches and toasted coconut. So toasted coconut looks really good on camera and it looks like it matches me perfectly, but in person and because I have all these lights, I could see that there's a slight difference between my actual skin tone and this foundation. This one tends to be a little more on the pink side and I'm more of a yellow undertone. Toasted coconut is number 240N and then the Tres Leches is 320G. Tres Leches was perfect. The undertone was perfect, but it's just too dark for me. So if I would have got this in the summertime, this would have worked. But right now, my tan is completely gone. And so too dark, a little too pink. So then I went in and I'm like, oh, maybe these two will work. So I got shortbread with a beige undertone. It's 200B. And then I got Creme Brûlée 150G. So 150G was way too light for me. And then shortbread, the 200B, has a beige undertone, but again, it looked a little too pink for me. So this was a definite no. I like to mix the shade Tres Leches and Creme Brûlée because one is 320G, which is Tres Leches, and then the other one is 150G, which is Creme Brûlée. And I'm like right in the middle of that. So I take 1 pump of Creme Brûlée and half a pump of Tres Leches, and then I get my perfect shade. So, that works for me. So if you're my skin tone and cheesecake, which should be the actual color because I swatched it in Sephora, they were out of it though, that's my perfect shade. But in order to get that shade, I mix half a pump of Tres Leches and a full pump of Creme Brûlée, and it actually works. Toasted coconut, I could totally wear by itself and just manipulate the highlight and contour to get this to match. So just to recap, my shade in the Huda Beauty is Cheesecake, but they don't have it in stock, or they didn't when I ordered these. So I take Creme Brûlée, 1 pump, and half a pump of Tres Leches, and I make that work. And then my shade in the Fenty Beauty is 230, and this is actually my exact shade. I know that it looks really light or it sounds really light on the spectrum of colors that they have, but it actually dries a little darker than it looks in the bottle. So just keep that in mind. That's what I had to think about when I was swatching this. So I swatched it in Sephora, I walked around for a little bit, and then I came back to see which one matched best, and 230 was the one that matched me the best. So I'm going to be doing this side of my face with the Huda Beauty Foundation and this side of my face with the Fenty Beauty Foundation. So I'm just going to take a half a pump of this and a full pump of this, and I'm just gonna mix the two together and dot it on my face. Then I'm gonna take some of the Fenty Beauty on the other side and dot that on, oh, that eyelash, on my face as well. So you guys see the colors are actually identical. You know, a girl can't be walking around here with her face looking 2 different shades today, because I plan on wearing this all day long. So the beauty sponge that I'm going to be using today is not a beauty blender, and I'm not using a brush only because I apply my foundation recently. I like to apply it with a beauty sponge. It's this LC Cosmetics beauty sponge. Guys, this thing is incredible. First of all, look at the size of this. This is a beauty blender. This is the LC sponge. What? Obviously this isn't wet, but when it is wet, it expands to about the tip of this. This thing gets my foundation on so fast, and I love the edge because it literally gets under the corners and the edges. You can contour your nose with it and everything. So I'm going to be blending out the Fenty Beauty first because I do know that that dries rather quickly. So let's just go in and blend. Okay, and I'm just gonna wipe off the butt of the blender, and I'm gonna go in to the Huda Beauty side. It's a little harder to blend only because I waited so long to put this on my face. Okay guys, so this is all blended out. I can tell you right off the bat, I see some spots here that the foundation did not cover properly. The Fenty Beauty foundation didn't, but here it covered everything pretty well. I also had a little scratch here that my daughter gave me, and it actually covered it really, really well. I do see a little bit of marks and little imperfections poking out from this side, but this side is all completely one color. So far, I really do prefer the super full coverage look, so I'm leaning more towards the Huda Beauty side. However, the Fenty Beauty side is also actually really nice. The finish is really, really nice. The only thing I don't like is that if you guys have been following me for a long time, you know that I have a problem with foundation staying on my nose, and it already looks like it's separating on this side. So far, telling you guys right off the bat, without wearing both of these on my face for a long time, I will tell you that, as mentioned, I have used both of these foundations all day long before. Personal preference, I liked the Huda Beauty better, and that's because of the super full coverage. As far as the wear goes, I don't really remember if one kind of outweighed the other, to be honest, because it's actually been a couple of weeks since I've reached in for my Fenty Beauty. So that's what we're going to be testing out today, is the finish, the wear, as well as the coverage of both foundations. As you can already tell, this side of my face already looks more full coverage than this side, but Fenty Beauty is buildable, as is the Huda Beauty if you want even more full than this. So I don't want to apply another layer just because I don't really see the point of doing that if I'm trying to do like a video for you guys to see with just one layer of each. So I'm just going to go in with my normal routine, and I'm going to apply my concealer, powder, and all of that stuff. And let's see what happens. So the concealer I'll be going in with today is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Neutral. Obviously, this is my go-to. You guys already know that. And I'm just going to apply a little bit on each side. And then I'm also going to apply it to the edges of my nose. Maybe too much. On my nose. Now going in with my beauty sponge. You guys see what I'm talking about with this sponge? It's like so amazing how it gets into those crevices without even trying. Next, I'm going to be going in with my Dermablend Loose Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm just going to set under my eyes. Next, going in with my Charlotte Tilbury Pressed Powder, Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in the shade number 2. I'm just taking a Vasanti powder finish brush, and I'm just dusting this onto the rest of my face to set my makeup on both sides. And I'm just going to dust off that powder. So to bronze up and contour my face, I'll be going in with the Smashbox Cosmetics Warm Matte Bronzer, and I will be contouring and bronzing. For my highlighter, I'm going to go in with the new Sigma Beauty Chroma Glow highlighter palette. I'm so excited to use this because look how beautiful the colors are, so pretty. I'll be going in with the shade Peaceful and Ambrosia, the first 2 colors of the palette. And I'm just going to use this with a Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35 brush to apply onto my cheeks. Oh, super pretty. Gives you like a glow from within. And if you want to intensify it, you can always wet your brush. You guys see what a beautiful glow this gives you? It's like such a healthy glow. For my blush, I'm going to be going in with the Sigma Beauty Aura Powder in the shade Pet Name, and I'm just going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes off camera, and I'll be right back to let you know my final thoughts on both of the foundations. Okay guys, so let's talk about the 2 foundations. So I will say that the finishes are very, very similar. You have a very matte finish on both foundations. Nothing too crazy. It's not drying or flaking or anything like that. I will say that, as you guys know, if you've been a subscriber for a while now, I tend to crease a lot on my laugh lines, and that's why I put concealer there to kind of help prevent the creasing. I use a creaseless concealer. Creaseless concealer, that's a mouthful. To apply to my laugh lines just like I would my under eyes, so that way I don't crease as much. That being said, this side here I notice a little bit more creasing than on this side, and I'm okay with that because again, some of my foundations do that, and then later on it still looks just like it did in the beginning, so I'm okay with that. I'm ready to kind of test this out with you guys. Other than that, I like both of them. Again, I like the coverage of the Huda Beauty a lot better. But to be completely honest with you, I have no clue how both of these foundations wear because I don't remember. I'm not that good at remembering to look in the mirror at the end of the night before taking off my makeup to see how long a foundation stayed on my face. So that being said, right now the time is 10:11 a.m. and I'm going to wait until later on tonight. Hopefully I remember to check in with you guys a little later tonight after I'm out and about all day, and I'll kind of check in with you guys to tell you my final thoughts on how both foundations wore. I'm praying to God that I don't forget to check in because, you know, sometimes I tend to do that. So I'm going to leave everything up the way it is and hopefully come back to it later. As far as the foundation itself goes, this one is a lower price point. I think the Huda Beauty is around $40. The Fenty Beauty is around $34, I think. And you get 35 ml in the Huda Beauty and you get 32 ml in the Fenty Beauty. So similar in weight and size. 1.18 fluid ounces in this one. 1.08 fluid ounces in this one. I will say that the Huda Beauty has a very, very pleasant smell. I didn't really pay too much attention to the Fenty Beauty, but the smell isn't as strong. The Huda Beauty one, I love anything scented, but if smells get to you, then the Huda Beauty might not be for you because I can still smell it and it smells lovely. I love good smells, if that makes sense. They don't bother me and they don't give me headaches or anything like that, so I'm totally fine with it. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about these foundations. I am noticing that my pores show up a little bit more on this side than on this side. My pores aren't crazy big to begin with, but I do have a few little pores, about 6 or 7 of them here and a few of them here. And this side seems to be showing up a little more than this side here. Again, not a huge deal breaker for me, only because I don't have huge pores, but if you do have really big pores, then it might be a problem for you. So I've tried the Huda Beauty foundation with and without the Huda Beauty primer, and it kind of seemed to work the same as my Farsali one would work. If you don't have the Farsali primer and you need a good primer, I would just go with the Huda Beauty one. It's a lot less expensive than the Farsali one, but if you don't want to get the Huda Beauty one because you already have this one, then just use this one, and it works perfectly fine. As far as the Fenty Beauty goes, I've never tried her primer because every time I went to the store, it was kind of out of stock. So that's, you know, my luck. Anyway, as far as the foundation goes itself, it seems to be, you know, right up my alley. Looks good, feels good, doesn't feel too heavy. Both sides kind of feel the same. I know they were saying that the Fenty Beauty is very lightweight, but the Huda Beauty is just as lightweight as the Fenty Beauty one. In my opinion, I don't really see a huge difference as far as the feel of the foundations go.
Later.
Hey guys, so just checking in. The time now is 2:35 p.m. I've eaten once since this morning. I've also drank lots of coffee. Let's be real now. My makeup is still looking pretty good. It's been about 4 hours now, about 4 hours and like 15 minutes or so, or 4.5 hours, I should say, since I have applied this foundation. Oh, some food right there. My lipstick is almost gone because I didn't use a liquid lipstick. I used a ColourPop lip pencil. Oh, lip crayon, whatever you want to call it. So let's see how it's holding up so far. So far, this side of my face is still pretty matte. But if you guys look closely, you'll see a little bit of shine right over here and a little bit right here. The creasing looks like it stayed the same since this morning. This side hasn't really creased much. I don't like that I'm shiny here, but it's normal. It happens. But I do like how this stayed matte completely. So I'm like really impressed with the Huda Beauty side so far. It's been, again, about 4 hours since I've applied this. Everything else looks pretty, oh, okay, never mind. So the creasing is actually a little bit worse than this morning. It's like separating in this area right here, even though I put concealer on it. So that's clearly the foundation talking because I don't really see it on this side here. So, yeah, everything else looks pretty okay. My pores are showing up a little bit more on this side here. Probably because I'm a little more shiny, so I'm going to probably have to blot this side, but I don't want to touch it until, again, later on tonight to kind of see how it holds up. So I'm going to try to check in again at least 2 more times, but we're heading out now, so I don't think that I'll be able to check in twice, maybe just once at the end of the night, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll see you guys soon.
Much later.
Okay guys, so the time now is 10:36 p.m. Sophie is banging on my door. I've had this makeup on for 12 hours now. To be honest with you, the wear is about the same. No difference really as far as how long it's lasting, although I do have to say that on my left side, I'm seeing some more skin poking through. Where on the right side, it still looks fresh as if I applied it just now. My nose is a little oily. Normal, I get oily in my T-zone most of the time. Haven't blotted at all, swear to God, no blotting, nothing. So this is creased a lot. This hasn't creased at all. Very, very shiny right around here. A little bit of shine right here, but the rest of the face is pretty matte. This area here is also a little shiny, and I can see the pores poking through a lot more now. So with all that being said, my final thoughts. Oh look, my eyelash is lifting because it was windy and my eye was tearing up badly. That right back on, even though I'm about to take off my makeup. That being said, I think that my favorite of the two foundations is going to have to be the Huda Beauty one. Why? I like the coverage better, and again, you guys see that there's less imperfections on this side of my face after wearing this foundation for 12 hours as opposed to the left side of my face with the Fenty Beauty. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to do a normal review just because there's a billion of them. So I decided to compare the two for you guys. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notifications so you guys are notified every time I upload a new video. And please follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All of that is at Makeup by Alaha. Thank you guys for staying until the very end and hearing my final thoughts on these foundations. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!